Another day, another large language model, this time around DeepSeek. So let's get it running locally on my MacBook Air M2. Let's do it. So LLaMA.com, I'm going to click on models and it's going to be the first one you see at the moment. So DeepSeek R1, it comes in a variety of different sizes, 1.5 billion parameters, 7, 8, 14, 32, 70, and 671 billion. I am on a MacBook Air M2. It has got 24 gig of RAM, so I'm going to try my luck with the 8B model, and we're going to compare that to some of the stuff we've been playing around with LLaMA. So let's go ahead and download that model. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on models, going to click on DeepSeek R1. We're going to copy LLaMA run a DeepSeek R1, give that a copy. At this point, I should point out on your computer, you should have already downloaded and installed LLaMA from LLaMA.com, available for Mac, Linux, and Windows. I'm on Mac, I've already got it installed, so I've copied that command line there, LLaMA run DeepSeek. I'm going to open up my terminal app and I'm going to paste that in and hit enter. And what that's going to do is that's going to jump into LLaMA. It's downloading 4.7 gigabytes. Quite lucky. I'm on a 1 gigabyte fiber connection these days. I've come a long way since my 50 kilobit connection. So we'll let that download and I'll speed this bit up. Okay, that's finished downloading. Now, if you're looking at this on your computer, it is just asking for a command directly in the command line interface, so the CLI. And so I'm just going to say my classic hello, who are you? Okay. Oop, did put a question mark there. Let's see how it does. Now it's taken a few seconds. Let's have a look. Oh, it's thinking. Hello, I'm DeepSeek R1, your artificial intelligence assistant. I don't have access to personal data or browsing history. How can I assist you? Sure. What is 10 divided by 2? Okay, so we're looking for an answer of 5, and we'll say something like times 1000. Okay, have a little think. All right, to the user to ask me to compute 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 1000, let me break this down step by step. And this is what I love about these reasoning models. It feels like we're going to get a lot more out of LLMs just by a bit of reasoning. Now, I don't want to speak too soon, but let's see how well it does. So the final answer is 5000. That is actually correct. It's done quite well there. So let's take that. And before we jump into a bit of Python and hooking into the API, let's go ahead and say goodbye. And why don't we do a LLaMA run LLaMA, I think it was 3.1. We've got a comparable model there. And we'll ask the exact same question. So this is Meta's model, LLaMA 3.1. And let's see what it comes back with. Okay, first we need to do is 10 divided by 2 equals 5, then multiply. Yeah, perfect, answered, not a problem. So far, one basic question, they're both doing okay. But what we can do is in Python, we can actually run them sort of head to head. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear that, and we are quite literally just going to say, make a directory. Okay, we'll call this model-testing. We're going to change into model testing directory. And in there, I've got a virtual environment. Have I got a virtual environment? I might have a virtual environment. I'm going to create a virtual environment. So Python-m, venv. That's going to go ahead and that's going to install a virtual environment. Then I'm just going to activate that virtual environment. I'm on Mac. This is how you do it on Mac. Slightly different for Windows, but for me, it's source venv/bin/activate. Now I'm in my virtual environment. If you're on Windows, it's simply venv /scripts, capital S, /activate.bat, and you'll be in the same place. Here, I'm just going to quickly install a couple of things. I'm going to double check. So let's install in PyPy. We've got access to LLaMA. So let's just double check that one. Yeah, perfect. So we're going to install LLaMA, and it's already got some sample code that we're going to have a bit of a play with. And we're also going to install Jupyter Notebook as well, because we're going to be running this. Notebook, where are we? Okay. I always like to double check with, actually, I think it's just called Notebook. That's my bad. Is this the one I'm after? Jupyter Notebook project. Yep. Okay. Maintained versions. We have 2 of the most, blah, blah. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to install LLaMA and I'm going to install Notebook and I'm going to install, that's everything. Okay. Might need to fast forward this bit. So let's do it. Okay, cool. That's installed. So now that those 2 are installed, I will be able to type Jupyter Notebook in here. So Jupyter Notebook. And that's going to pop a browser window for me. There we go, right on cue. And that's going to pop us into this view here where I can click New and I can click Python Notebook. Now we installed LLaMA Python package. So I can go back to the little bit of instructions there. I can copy this out and we'll talk through it together. We'll give this a name, model testing, okay? And we'll paste this one in here. So we've got from LLaMA import chat, from LLaMA import chat response, and we're using chat response as a bit of a type hint. To keep things nice and simple, I'm actually going to remove that for now. And in here, it's using LLaMA 3.2 as a bit of a sampler, which is fine. I'm just going to say I'll use LLaMA 3.1 because that's a similar size model to what we just installed, which was the DeepSeek, okay, which is DeepSeek R1. Keep that in mind. In fact, what I'm going to do to make things really simple, I'm going to, let's think about this. Yeah, I'm going to make a variable call. Well, actually, we'll leave it as is for now. Let's just run this and we'll just ask a very basic question like, if I hold up my hand and put 2 fingers down, how many fingers am I holding up? Okay, and we're just saying the role is the user. That's the question of the user, and we can print the response, and it's just printing in 2 different ways, but I think that's a simple enough way to print it. So why don't we go ahead and shift enter on that. Oh, no module named LLaMA. I swear we installed that. Okay, that's concerning, but that's all right. Let's go back and make sure that one installs. So why don't we go ahead and pip install LLaMA one more time. Okay, cool. That apparently is installed. Just in case, what I sometimes do is I go restart kernel, and that's going to get us back here. And then we'll do shift enter on that again. And here we're asking LLaMA 3.1. And here, what we can do is we can actually ask DeepSeek R1. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop in DeepSeek R1. Sorry, yep, DeepSeek R1. Shift enter on that. And what we're doing is first asking LLaMA 3. So let's have a look. You're asking, so this is LLaMA 3.1, and it says you're asking a classic trick question. The answer is 2. Let's double check that. If I hold up my hand and I put down 2 fingers, how many fingers am I holding up? I should probably make that a bit clearer. Fingers am I holding up? All right, let's try that again. Let's take that. I want to give it every chance I can for both of them. And my expectation is if I've got my hand up and I put down 2 fingers, how many fingers am I holding up? Well, I think I'm holding up 3. Some might argue a thumb is not a finger, and we'll see what comes back. So shift enter on that, and we'll take this one here and we'll paste. Let's take the whole thing again, and we'll make sure we've got DeepSeek R1. So we'll copy that one out. And we'll clean that up, and we'll shift enter. Okay, you're holding up 2 fingers. And by the way, you can also count the thumb as one of those 2 fingers. Okay, great. So if I'm holding up my hand and I put down 2 fingers, how many fingers am I holding up? Well, I think I'm holding up 3 fingers. LLaMA 3.1 thinks I'm holding up 2 fingers. Yeah, that just doesn't seem right to me at all. So I think Meta got it wrong in that round. And then I've got DeepSeek R1 here. And my God, it has done quite a bit of thinking. Okay, so let's quickly go through this. So the user is asking the question, if I hold up my hand and put 2 fingers down, how many fingers am I holding up? Let me try to figure this out. First off, when someone says that they're holding up their hand, they usually mean all 5 fingers are extended, right? So normally you have 5 fingers showing. But then the question mentions putting 2 fingers down. So if someone holds up their hand with all 5 fingers and lowers them, I'm going to skip this ahead, so on and so forth. Okay, it's really going into quite a bit of detail here. Number of fingers put down is 2, correct. Therefore, fingers still up, 5 minus 2 equals 3. So the answer should be 3 fingers. And then that's the thinking. Okay, sorry, I'm new to this model. So this is the thinking component. That's completely separate. That's the reasoning. And then after thinking, when you hold up your hand with all 5 fingers extended and then put 2 fingers down, you are left holding up 3 fingers. And then finally, it just has the answer. You are holding up 3 fingers. Oh, I gotta say, I love it. I love it a lot. It's good. It's really, really good. I'm going to have to do some more testing, but I thought we'll jump in and have a bit of a play. If you have any questions, drop a comment. I'll make more videos. But yeah, it's good. It's Much better than this wrong answer. Oh God, meta. Yeah, wow. Okay, I'm gonna have a bit of a play with this. I think there's some very cool stuff we can do with this because, yeah, just thinking out loud. You know, I'm looking at this. We've got some structured data. We've got the thinking component. We've got the think start, think end. We've got the bit in between. Then we've got the answer, right? So, you know, and it's broken out by line breaks. So, you know, you could probably even we'll have to test this, but you could probably just, yeah, \n. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If that's the end of the thinking phase, then yeah, I can probably just do something like find the thinking. It's at that character. So we call this, you know, think_end is equal to that. Wow. And then we take the response and then we sort of say something like, give me everything after the thinking's complete, which would be from there onwards. Obviously, we need to add in the characters for thinking, but yeah, wow. That's maybe \n there. That's really nice. Okay. Got the answer component as well. Okay, well, let's give it one. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting really excited when there's a new model that just does something that I don't expect. It really takes me back a little bit. It's like, well, hold on. I only downloaded 4 gigabytes of data, like the model size. This thing's actually incredible. Like, yeah, wow. Wow, I wonder if I can just say, provide your answer in a valid JSON object, and then I'll just give it, I wonder if it can do the thinking. Maybe I don't want the thinking. I just want the answer, right? Yeah, maybe I just want the answer. I wonder if it can do that. Answer and then string. I don't know. Let's shift enter on that. So what I'm doing here is I'm just saying, well, here's that same question. And then I'm just adding in, provide your answer in a valid JSON object. And the JSON object I'm looking for would look something like this. The reason I'm doing that is I would love to be able to take that output and then request, there it is. And so if we've got think end and we know the length of the word, you know, think with its sort of open close brackets 8, then potentially I can do think end plus 8. Yeah, right. And then what we get, just quickly, we get the answer. And if I was to do a dot strip on that, there is the answer. And what I really like about that is we can call this one, you know, JSON string answer. And all of a sudden I could do something funky like import JSON and then do something simple like JSON.loads, and I can load in our string answer. And why that's really important is now I can say something, you know, call it the JSON answer. And what gets really cool about that is now this is a dictionary. All right, so this is if I go type, this is just a Python dictionary. And what I love about that is I can now ask, hey, what was the answer, right? So what was the answer? And it was 3. And if I was always expecting a number, I can just ask for an integer. That's really cool. Very cool stuff. Hey, look, I hope this was helpful. I know it's a bit of a rushed video, a bit of over the place. Very excited. I think there's some very cool stuff we can do with this. I've been thinking more and more around how the world, you know, has messy data and there's sort of all this value. I'm not going to say the word value, that sounds a bit corporate, but there's all this like really rich information hidden away in text. And if you can sort of prompt over and over and instruct these models to bring back structured text, you can go from having large bodies of text to this really beautiful structured data that we can then analyze and start to trend and find some really cool stuff with. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this first video, checking out DeepSeek R1. I think it's really cool. Catch you in the next one.